Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Fireside Chat on the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network, brought to you by Run Try Bike. Thank you for joining us today. I have a very special guest, Vittorio, and I just completely forgot his last name, so I'm going to have them repeat it for me when we bring him on. But I got connected to Vittorio through Kenneth Barrow, who you have seen on our show before with our Fireside Chat. She was an ambassador for his organization called Strides for Gianluca. His son has cerebral palsy. And so we're going to get into that conversation, fundraising, running, how it all ties together, his why, his mental aspect of dealing with it all. And I'm really excited because we've had these types of conversations in the past. We have had Alex Baker with Catch Up to Cancer. And we have also had Jason with the Pediatric Cancer Research Foundation come on. And they have been very moving conversations. And I fully expect this conversation with Vittorio to be the same way. Before I bring him on, please do me a favor and subscribe, rate, and review the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network on your favorite podcast platform. If you're using Spotify or YouTube, please leave us a comment. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really does help us get these shows into the algorithms of those platforms so that people can hear them, people can be moved by them, people can be inspired and motivated by them. And that's the goal of all of our shows, is to inspire, motivate, and move people to action. So be sure to do that. Lastly, be sure to join the Everyday Athlete Clubhouse. It's on runtrymag.com. You have 4 options. I'll keep it simple for you. There's a yearly option and there is a lifetime option. You can either buy one with a hat or without a hat. That we have, the Enjoy the Journey hat, is available to you if you decide to add that on there for yourself. And so please make sure you come and hang out with us when you do that. We have a lot of stuff happening with the Everyday Athlete Clubhouse, from panel discussions to demonstrations. We're going to be having one with Alethea Run coming up here really soon on January 15th if you want to join us. So we have a lot going on in the clubhouse. Make sure you come and hang out with us. I have been talking for a very long time, and I want to bring Vittorio forward before he falls asleep on me in the back room. So let's get this conversation started. Vittorio, how are you?
Hi, how you doing, Jason?
I'm good. I apologize. I fumbled your last name. I had it in my mind, and then as soon as I went to say it, it just totally flew out.
No worry. It's Aconi. It's Aconi.
And as a person with a last name that can be somewhat difficult to pronounce, I fully understand if you are like, I want to hang up on this dude right now.
No. I've been looking at your name for a while. I still have been trying to pronounce. Like, is the H silent? Is it?
The H is fully there.
All right.
The age is fully there, but I want to talk about how we got connected. I kind of briefly mentioned how you and I connected on Instagram through Kenneth Barrow, who shared that she had become an ambassador for Strides for Gianluca. And I was immediately like, okay, what is this Strides for Gianluca? What is happening here? I want to know more about it. I just have an inquisitive mindset about all of these things. So that's sort of how we got connected. But I want to open it up more with this question to you. Who is Vittorio Aconi, and why do we have Strides for Gianluca happening?
Vittorio Aconi is a guy who tries to run. I always say I try to run. Now, I don't think, I think a lot of people can identify with that. I think even some of the guys who are the most elite athletes sometimes don't consider themselves a runner, because I think somewhere in ourselves, we're always comparing ourselves and trying to get up there with what we think the pinnacle of a runner should be. So I'm right there with everybody else. So I'm not going to preach and say, do your best when that's sometimes not enough for me as well. But the why is for my son. The why is definitely for my son. He, when he was 2 years old, we found out that he had right-sided hemiplegic cerebral palsy. It affects his right side. It's stiffness in his right arm and his right leg. And we live right here in South Jersey, which we're right here near Philadelphia. So Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, CHOP, became a big part of our lives. And before this, I was never really a part of that world or knew that world unless it was through a commercial that, like most people. But when you become immersed in it and the medical visits become frequent and they become a part of your life, and you see how other children are suffering and sometimes they need help, uh, you just feel like you want to do more. I wanted to
You,
be, yeah,
I was going to ask,
wanted to be the guy who kind of showed my son we can always do more.
at what age did you find that Gianluca had CP?
So around age 2, right when he should have
Around
been
age-
walking, kind of no problem, and then we kind of realized his right leg kind of comes up really really high. His heel almost looks like he's like in an invisible high heel. So
Okay.
his right heel, it's very hard for him to get it down without it being in a brace or a cast or something like that. And so a PT, OT is a big part of his life, and it also affects his right arm. His right arm is actually a little better than his right leg. So, you know,
I had a guest on here, Jason, who is a board member of Pediatric Cancer Research Foundation because they found out that his son had cancer, and he walked me through the process of getting the news from the doctor. And so, with Gianluca at the age of 2, as a parent, walk me through the process of like something doesn't seem right, let's go and have this checked out. Was there this optimistic component in your world with you and are you married?
yes, yeah. So me and my wife,
Okay.
and yes, my wife, we were kind of like looking like that, like we were like almost like there was a part of me that was saying something is off here. Something isn't right, and um, we almost kind of knew, should have known, or kind of maybe. It was while my wife was pregnant. She went to go get blood work done, like any pregnant woman does, and I don't know what happened, but they were shortly after she drove herself as she did many times to get blood work, and this time she I don't know if they took too much blood or what happened, but she passed out behind the wheel of her car, and
Oh,
she went headfirst into a telephone pole,
oh
and
wow.
so yeah, she was rushed to the hospital. We spent 4 days in there while they monitored the baby and her. There was a slight tear in the umbilical cord, and that's when we kind of they said everything checked out, everything was okay, but they couldn't be sure, till obviously after he was born. And when they're first born, you don't they're just a pile of skin.
Yeah,
They just sit there. No matter what they
right.
do, so yeah, they don't do much. They don't do much at all. So it was when his motor skills started to have to come into play. We noticed he was always favoring his left hand more because his right hand was always kind of closed. And then when he wanted to walk, we noticed it was a lot hard. Like it was always noticed the left would land, the right wouldn't land, and
Okay.
and then finally we were kind of like when we got the diagnosis and did the MRIs and CAT scans and all that, and they saw the damage that was done and that the stroke had happened in utero. That's when we kind of knew, okay, and that's when we got the news of cerebral palsy. And when
I
you
mean, this
start, yeah, I mean, when you
this has
start
got to,
googling cerebral palsy, it's
yeah.
you get the worst images. You get the
Yeah.
worst images, and for someone who doesn't know anything about cerebral palsy, we think that it's going to, be progressive and it's going to lead to him being in a wheelchair or something like that. And then that's not, we found out luckily that's not the case. You know, if they're like that, then they're kind of born like that, you
I
know.
mean, you're in South Jersey, so you're not far from the shore and roller coasters. And this is what I'm envisioning is happening in your life is this roller coaster of my wife's in a car accident, right? Okay, things seem to be okay. Child is born. things seem to be okay, and then wait, something seems to be amiss. Like this constant up and down
Yeah, it's
from
open, and that's kind of like what life is like now. I mean, he's great. He's resilient. I mean, he is, from anybody looking at him, he's like a regular child. Nothing wrong with him or anything like that. And then when people will spot the brace right away, and then they'll kind of be like, "Oh, what happened? Did he sprain his ankle, or did he?" And then when you look more closely, you notice his walk and his gait and everything is a little different. So those are the things that they work on every day with PT. I mean, even his right hand of unbuttoning a button. Those are the little things that you know that are like, he's a little delayed in getting dressing himself, and putting his jacket on by himself, and because he hasn't gotten the as the OT and PT kind of say, he hasn't figured out those cheat codes yet for himself in life, you know. And But we're very lucky. He's mobile. He's going to be able to live a very full life. Um, but with everything he goes through, it's just it kind of, that running was a little bit of an escape for me too. When I
yeah.
wanted to get the mind out of it and get the brain going and stuff like that, and then it kind of led to more after that, for
Yeah, you beat
for
me
the
to the
charity.
punch because I was gonna ask you, how did you deal with all of these happenings in your life? How were you dealing with it from a father aspect, from a husband aspect? Yeah, you have other responsibilities in life beyond family, work, and friends, and everything else that keeps coming along. My question was going to be, how do you deal with it? Was running the thing that you turned to?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm a teacher, and I'm a PE teacher. So all my
Okay.
life I've been physically active and stuff, and I just needed, rather than just get up and go to the gym or so, I just needed something where I could, when I needed to, immediately just leave the house and like kind of get my own thing. And walking just wasn't for me. So
Yeah.
I, you know, I started doing the running a little more. Just hop on the sneakers and get out there, and I used to do triathlons, and I couldn't juggle the three aspects with a newborn. So I was like,
It's
I
hard.
got to pick.
It's hard without a
Yeah,
newborn.
yeah. And I was like, I got to pick one. And the easiest one is get the sneakers on and go out and run, right? And that
Right.
was it. So I was like, I'm going to pick that one. It's less stuff to buy for the bike. I don't have to worry about going to the gym to go to the pool. I could literally just go out,
That's right.
you know. And so that was my kind of thing. And it's I've noticed the progression in it for me too, just with it going from like an escape, or kind of it being healing, to now it's almost a tool I use to help think about ideas for the charity. And
Yeah.
great things have kind of come for me for that too. Like
So
with that,
is Yeah, so how did you go from running to starting a charity? Was it because you've seen other charities out there, other people running for charities, and you were like, I'd like to do this, or did you start it? Give me the background on how Strides for John Luca got started.
Yeah, I mean, it just started as an Instagram platform, like for me to
Okay.
kind of bring awareness to CP, and I kind of like was recording his PT sessions, and then kind of like showing his progressions. And so, because he loves watching his own videos. He loves that. Any video of himself, he's really into himself. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
fantastic. Meanwhile, us
yeah.
as adults are running away from it.
Oh yeah, they were like, "Oh, get out of my face, get out of my face." And he's like, and he's like, "Video me," and I'm like, "Okay, all right." So it's like, I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "Oh, you got it, buddy, sir." And I'm just like a glorified like cameraman. So he's it's crazy, man. And he one day he was on the treadmill PT, and he was doing they were doing this thing where they were throwing like little bean bags at him, and he was stepping over to help land, and like heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. And I'm like, oh man, I remember when I used to have a treadmill down at my parents' basement. I used to run on thing for like an hour or two, and then I was like, I should start just running again, you know. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did notice a lot of other charities running. So I was like, I just got a shirt, went to a 5K, and kind of thought of the idea. My buddy actually, Strides for John Luca didn't even really come out till I signed up for the Philly Marathon. And my one other buddy was supposed to run it for with me, was like, and he got hurt. He couldn't run it with me. But when we started it, we're like, let's start a team, and it was like, a team of two, and, and he was like, what are we gonna name it? And I'm like, I don't know, Strides for John, or John Lucas Strides, or he's like Strides for John Luca. I'm like, that's a good one, and he's like, put a number 4 in there. Don't write 4, just put a number. I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. And we did, and
I love it.
it just stuck. It just kind of stuck. We never wanted to change it.
It's a
And the
fantastic story. What year was this? What year was the Philly Marathon that you were
Philly
participating in?
Marathon was, I think, 2022, I believe,
Okay.
2022 or 23. I got to look back on Instagram. I think it was 2023, actually. 2023 Philly Marathon. Yeah, no, it was 23 because I believe so. I'll have to double check for you
We'll,
because
we'll fact
I
check later.
ran. Yeah, I ran. I didn't run this past year. I ran the one
Okay.
before, so maybe it was. So I skipped it. So I think it was 24.
Okay. So
But
you
I was there.
you register for this event, the Philly Marathon. Your buddy bails on you, so now you're going solo on it, and you have your shirt Strides for John Luca. Does it go well enough that you're saying to yourself, "I'm going to keep doing this"?
Well, in the middle of training, so during one of the training runs, I'm like, let's make this something more. Let's like
Okay.
not just run for it with the shirt. And I was like, I did it for CP research. I ran for CP research and asked for donations that I gave to the Cerebral Palsy Research Institute, and we raised like $2,300 or something like that for him. So which was great,
Yeah.
and so then like my buddy's like, oh wow, that was great, and he was like, you should start a nonprofit, a real nonprofit. And I was like, I don't know what that. I was like, what's that? And I was like, all right. I was like, for someone who used to be in the restaurant business with my dad, when you hear no profit, you're like, what the hell's that? What is that? Like, what's the point of that? So you're like,
Although Vittorio, there are a lot of restaurants that are doing that. They're running
oh
restaurants
yeah,
at
they're
no
all making,
profit.
yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. I gotta admit, yeah. So I shouldn't say that. So there are a lot of guys out with the price of everything now. No one's doing that. That's true. But then he's like, no, it's a charity. It's a charity. I was like, oh, why didn't you say that? I didn't know that. So he's like, well, that's what a charity is. It's a non-profit. You have to explain it to me like as a 5-year-old.
This is fantastic.
So
What a story.
I was like, all right. So he's like, so you don't make a profit. You just kind of give the money to different things. I was like, all right. And I was like, well, how do I get the money? And so he's like, so I was like,
Where's
so
that
it
string
was
that
a
I
whole,
pull? It just falls out of the
yeah,
sky.
how do I get it? Like, does it just, like, like, so where does it come from? The sky? Like, like, so he's, I didn't know I did. So he introduced me to a couple other guys who ran nonprofits, and then I found out so many. I just went down this rabbit hole, and I started discovering all these different ways, and for nonprofits and charities to raise money, and some I didn't even realize sometimes I had done these things already or donated. I was
Right.
part of it. So
Yeah.
it's a world you're not really in tune to until you actually become a part of it. And
It's
we haven't been an official nonprofit for like a year. Like in February of last year is when we became an official 501c3 nonprofit. So we're coming up on just a year now on being an
Yeah,
official
my
nonprofit.
wife is an accountant. She's a CPA, and her specialty is working with nonprofits. And over the last 4 or 5 years, like I've seen the work that she's been doing with nonprofits and all the different ways that they're raising money. And I will say this, that anybody who's listening, you may think that you only have $1 or $5 or $10, and you're like, oh, is that enough? I'm telling you, as far as my voice can carry, if you have the ability to donate $1 or $5 or $10 to the charity nonprofit of your choice, please do it, because it makes a massive difference. And I know with Vittorio, with Stride for Gianluca, you're officially only a year, but even in 10 years from now, and you're still running the business, the nonprofit, you're going to get people who are like, here's $5, and it's still going to mean the world, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really does. It really does. And we're lucky enough that we've raised some money, we've raised some funds, and up until now, we have raised about like over $12,000 for various
That's
charities.
amazing. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
and so it's really great to see like the grits, and I got to tell you, like, donating to the cerebral palsy research, but the best one was just a young boy named Cooper, who we just donated money directly to his family. And like when you actually like know the people, get to know them and talk to
Yes.
them, and you could see the gratitude on their face. It just means so much more than just kind of like, not that it means any less, but it kind of
Right.
fulfills you more when you actually see who it's going to and what it's doing. Whereas like when you give to like a bigger company or a research institute, it's doing good, but your dollar amount, you don't know where it's being funneled or where it's going to or being
Yeah.
distributed, and so it does feel that one in particular was really great. That one was really great.
I interviewed a gentleman by the name of Rob Cass, who's in South Carolina, and his fundraising arm is, I believe it's called Strides for Cancer. I think that's what it's called. But what he does is he raises money to help 4 or 5 families in South Carolina. So he's not handing it to the American Cancer Association. He's doing exactly what you just mentioned. And he's literally handing a check to 4 or 5 families in South Carolina where he lives. And he said the same thing. He's like, you just the gratitude that comes out from the recipient is, it's not, you can't measure it, you can't describe it. The feeling is just the thing that you get to experience.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, you don't get to. It's almost like it's almost like a marathon. People don't know until you cross the finish line, right?
Yeah.
It's you could almost correlate the two. It's like you can't explain it. You can't explain it. And running a nonprofit beats you up like a marathon. I'll tell you that much. Running it, yeah, it beats you up like one. So when you have those moments, yeah, it is like crossing the finish line. It is.
So how did you get from being a team of two, which was really, let's call it what it is, a team of one? Your buddy bailed on you. He could say he had an injury, but we don't really know for sure.
He did show up. He did show up that weekend, and he popped up in all these different places with his phone and his camera and all this stuff. So he was
Right.
he was there,
He
but
gets a
I mean,
pass.
he gets a pass for it. He gets a pass, but it distracted me a little bit because you're running, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I was back there. Then like 5 miles later, he's up there, and you're like, how did he get here? I'm doing something wrong here. So that in that sense, it was like a little deflating. I almost want to be like, knock it off.
Just wait for me at the finish line.
It's like everybody else does.
So how do we go from team 1.5? I'll give him a pass. I'll give him a half a
Give me a hat.
pass.
Give him
How do
that.
we go from team 1.5 to, in the green room, you said you're up to 12 ambassadors for your organization. So how do we go from 1.5 to 12? Are you reaching out to people, or people, how are people finding out about you? Like, how does this work?
So I posted on my own Facebook that I've run various races myself on our website. I'm always putting like there's a little section that says run with us. And it's our whole last year we had about like maybe 15 to 20 races on there where I was running. Some other people have given the shirt to, they run with it. And it's kind of like a schedule. And all the 5Ks, 10Ks, half mile, whatever people signed up for, they run it. And I just thought to myself, I really love to just get a group of people in the one race together, like a real big team. And I I have always known about the group Run 856 down in South Jersey. So I'm in the Facebook group, and I posted in there just like, hey, like any other post, hoping for the best, right?
Yeah, right.
Want to put together a team for Love Run, raise some funds for the charity, and I think it's at the end of March, something like that, the Love Run, the half marathon. And if you would love to join and sign up, we'll get you a shirt and you could run with us. And I mean, Kenneth was the first one to hop on board and then just put the word out. And she started posting on her own personal page. And then she reposted in the Facebook group. And I was like, and sure enough, then like it takes one person. And
That's it.
then they just kind of, yeah, and that's it. And if it's that one person that's always kind of showing up to the group runs and involved in the group, like that's the right person. And now we're like 12 runners, 12
That's
runners,
amazing.
and it's amazing, and it just slowly became. And I like to have fun with it. I like to make it fun for them. Like on the Instagram, we kind of introduce the runners as they join. Like we create a graphic for them, and it's a half marathon and a 7K. So we like list their name, put their name on there with their picture, and if they're running a half marathon, the 7K, it make it fun, and we make them choose their song of choice, give us a couple of fun facts, and we put the post in there, and it's just a fun way to get people involved too. And it was, and lo and behold, it was, it came on March is National or CP Awareness Month.
Okay.
So the fact that it's coming at the end of March, I kind of was thinking to myself, like, we should do something else like for the month of March. And I was like, what can we do? What can we do? And I'm like, yet again, I'm out for one of my runs. I'm running around. I'm like, get the most random idea. Some once in a while, usually I'll just roam around in there.
I feel you.
Yeah. It's like, why do birds have legs? They can fly most of the time, right? You're just watching them like they don't have to stop, and then but then that one thing every once in a while kind of gets you, and it's like I was running past a local business and they had a thing like a lot of the PTAs and all this stuff have these dine out or, donate and dine kind of things for all these, to raise funds. And it's kind of like, you go to the restaurant, you mention the charity, and then they give a percentage of that night to the charity. And I thought to myself, this is perfect because I myself used to be in the restaurant business with my family. So I knew so many people. And I thought to myself, I still have cousins in the business and stuff. Let's do it. So we now in March have a dine out for CP, and we have 7 different restaurants, and they're going to be doing it in various parts of the month. And had I not been running past that sign, I'm like, wait a minute, let me, and it just kind of happened, So
I gotta tell
that
you,
month is all restaurants dining out for CP, and then it kind of culminates at the very end of the month with the big run, with a dozen runners for the half marathon, all with the Strides for Gianluca's logo on their on them, racing in the half marathon, which is great.
I love the perspective that you provide about this idea of I happen to be running past this restaurant, otherwise this doesn't happen. Because I think one of the things that we fail to do as adults is pause for a moment to reflect and look back on how we got to where we are. And your the ability to say, I happen to be running that day and wasn't thinking about why do birds have legs as I was passing this restaurant. Because you could have been deep in thought about that, right? And
Oh
that
yeah,
sign would have just been a blur. And yet, for however it all works out, it worked out. And I love it. And I also love this idea of, as you were talking, I'm thinking community, like just the one person. So Kenneth talks to another person, and then they talk to another person. And all of a sudden, you have a community of people that are, for a terrible phrase, rowing the boat in the same direction to get you guys and the organization to where you want to be. I just think that's so beautiful. And I wonder, with the idea of this perspective of how we got started, are there moments where you and your wife, after you put Gianluca to bed, look at each other and think to yourself, holy crap, look at what we have done with this organization?
yeah. There's times where I definitely just am like, it's not like I said, it's not even a year old. In a year's less than a year's time, like I mentioned, I was talking to you about this in the green room. I used to be a hockey player, so we've organized a charity hockey game with NHL alumni. We have organized a, oh my goodness, I've done the full marathon for that. On the horizon now, in addition to that, we have coming up in March right now currently we have the for the New York uh, Roadrunners Association. I did get accepted this year to run the marathon, New York Marathon in 2020. I know, I was so excited when I got it. So I to represent Strides for John Luca and all that stuff. So, we're raising money for them, and we're doing that right now. In March, we have the whole thing I just mentioned, and then in October, I'm taking off the running shoes and putting for the very first time the race director cap on. Never done it before. We're having our first ever CP awareness 5K.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we'll come the new year. We're applying for all our permits and everything like that, and we're making it happen in the month of October because October 6th, and we try to pick a date as close to that, is World Cerebral Palsy Day, Awareness
Okay.
Day. So
Perfect.
and yeah, so in the fall we'll be doing that. There's just a ton. There really is just a ton, and every summer there's a checking for charity tournament down in South Jersey. That it's such a great concept. All the teams that register for this adult hockey tournament, they register, and that all that money goes into a pot. Every team that registers has to play for a charity, a non-official nonprofit. And then when the
Fantastic.
tournament concludes, all those monies are distributed to the nonprofits. Some get more than others. If your team goes a little further, you may get 100 or 200 bucks more for your charity, but it's a great concept. The very top tier, the A division, has current NHL, minor leaguers, collegiate athletes all playing against each other, and it's
Oh,
it's
that's gonna be
just a
wild.
great fun time. All the way up to like a 50+ division where the old timers come out and play. I mean, it's fun. It's fun, and but I mean, if all this are the ideas we get, like that I've gotten for just generating money for the nonprofit, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just, yeah, it's been a lot of work, a lot of think tank,
Yeah.
but the rest building that recipe is getting there, for what works, what doesn't work.
Where do you go when things get hard? Because we're talking a lot of positive stuff, but things aren't always on the upswing. There are things that are on the downswing. Like one of the things I thought about was you have a son at 2 with this diagnosis, and you are a PE teacher for kindergarten through 5th grade. So you're seeing kids who may not have CP or may not have any other ailments, and they're running around and doing all kinds of stuff. And it made me wonder, like, when you see that happening, does he think to himself, I'm very fortunate that I have a healthy son who's capable of doing this stuff and he's going to live a wonderful life and he's getting better? Is there moments of, man, I cannot believe that these kind of things have happened in my life and I'm grateful that we're moving forward? But, like, where do you go when the valley appears?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that is always a tough one. It's because you do look at other kids, and it is something I definitely look at all the time, and I will look at a kid running around, and I will, be like, okay, is my kid ever gonna be able to run that straight of a line, or is he ever going to be able to do 2 arm push-ups, or those little things, and there's always a way for them, but there it's hard this early on with
Yeah.
him being so young. Now he's 4, and there's so much more ahead. It is hard when you start to doubt and sometimes feel that sadness, because I tell you, there are hard days, and there's days that, yeah, you'll cry for him. He's
Yeah. I
kind
was
of
going to ask.
oblivious. Yeah, he's kind of oblivious to the world
Yeah.
around him right now. But I'll tell you about one of the hardest days I ever had was one of our visits to CHOP, and he had to have Botox injections in his leg, which is they use quite often for kids with CP, and he has to get it in the back of his calf, and to kind of helps loosen the muscle. So when they do a thing called serial casting, um, it kind of helps in that process. And serial casting is pretty much where you stretch it out for a little week and you set it in a cast, and then they take
Okay.
you out of the cast, and then the next week they push it a little more and set the cast again, and it's all week to week basis for when he's finally going to be done and then go back in his brace. Uh, but that's normally not done until first gets Botox, and then the Botox takes place. But I remember being in CHOP and me thinking, okay, I've never done this before. What's going to happen? And the doctor's like, okay, who wants to hold him? And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean?
Right.
And so we need him kind of like his calf facing up. So he was sitting chest to chest with me, and I had to kind of put my arms around him as they injected him 3 or 4 times with this needle for Botox. And, it hurts. And I
Yeah.
had to sit there and watch my kid just cry in my face, and his tears are just falling onto my face as he's screaming and this is happening. And it still sticks with me to this day,
Yeah.
and and it was one of the very first things he had done to him, and not knowing what it was going to be like going in. I mean, it didn't set in for me until I got home that night and got to sit down and kind of you replay his face over and over again in my head, because when it's all done, you're just there for him in that point in time, trying to calm him down and you know make him feel better. And then when you put him to bed, and then you're sitting there, you realize, wow, I'm not all right.
Yeah.
I'm not all right from what I just saw and what I just experienced. And it's just it was, and yeah, you cry for the kid. You cry for the kid. He got his out, and then I had to get mine out.
Yeah.
I had to
And I
get
would
mine out.
imagine it's that perspective, it's those moments that you reflect on when the good thing does happen. When you get a notification via email or however you get a notification that somebody's made a donation of some sort, or you get an email from the New York Roadrunners Club that you're in for the New York City Marathon to help raise funds. Like I have to imagine it's those moments that make the hard moments just a little bit easier to process.
It is because you sit there and you bust your ass for the cause, and for your kid, and but yeah, when you get that notification, it's like, wow, it's somebody else cares. Somebody else
When
cares. And it's sometimes it is just $5 donation, but
yeah,
it's like you said, it goes a long way. It goes a long
I
way.
mean, somebody stopped what they were doing in their world. As busy as we all are, somebody stopped doing whatever it is they were doing in their world and said, I'm going to donate something to this cause because it means something to me and I know it'll mean something to them. Like that alone is massive, right? Like there are so many times that people can look at their to-do list and be like, I'm just going to go do something else instead. But they looked at their
Yeah.
to-do list and it was, I've got to make this donation. And they stopped what they were doing, and to me that is everything. So whether it's $1, $5, $500, you had to stop what you were doing for a moment to say, I'm going to do something for somebody else, and that is massive.
It is. It's a great. I mean, I almost sometimes feel like, is this what Cooper's family felt like? Like the when I helped them, like this is maybe what they felt
Yeah,
like, right? I mean, because you're
right.
like, somebody else is in this with me now. Like they
Yeah.
care that much to do that, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling knowing, you know, you're going to be able to use that and help out somebody in some way or some shape or some form, you know. And there's just so many people out there willing to help. Oh, and I completely forgot another person who's helping us out in July. He is as a hockey person fan, you might know the movie Slapshot. We are having
Paul
a
Newman.
charity. No, not Paul Newman. He's
Oh,
gone. But
oh, that's
uh,
right.
yeah, We're not digging up his coffin. We're not doing. No, can't get him. Can't get him. Too many people at the funeral garden that at the graveyard garden his site. We couldn't get him. So one of the Hanson brothers from the movie
Oh, that is
Slapshot.
wild.
We're having an old time hockey night,
You're gonna
and he is
foil
coming
up.
out to play with us on the ice for a charity game for CP awareness.
Oh, that
And
is so cool.
it's gonna be cool. Yeah, it's gonna be a cool night.
I
And
wonder how many people in the stands are gonna be that would be our age that would recognize that character, right? So is he gonna be in character, like with the glasses
oh,
and the foil and the long hair?
that's exactly what he said. He goes, I come in character.
Oh, that's
And he
so amazing.
goes, watch out. He goes, I may be old, but I'm still gonna hurt some people. So I said, well, there goes the charity aspect of it. But
You better get the insurance.
yeah, I was like, oh, what's our umbrella on that insurance clause? What's the fee for the insurance? I was like, but yeah, it's
That is
so he's coming out. He's gonna be out there in July and in Hollydale Arena in South Jersey, where it's actually I think it's a week before the Checking for Charity tournament, right before that week, and we'll have a meet and greet with him and everything afterwards too. So it's
man,
people just want to get involved. It's great. It's a great time. It's a great
you are
time.
like I thought I was busy. If you're doing 15 to 20 races a year, you're doing all of these events, you're now training for the New York City Marathon for in
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
2026.
whoa, whoa! I ain't training for it yet. It's Christmas time. I'm enjoying myself a little bit. Slow your roll there.
It'll be here before you know it.
I
You
know, I
like
know.
how do you balance all of this stuff? How do you make it work?
I don't know. I can't give you an answer to that. It's I think the wheels are just always turning, and I'm
Yeah,
just like multitasking. It's I've almost kind of just like, you know what, I'm going to make it fun for myself. I'm like,
that's
how can I
it.
make this fun for myself? And it just takes an email. Sometimes, like I said, I reached out to him. I saw he did charity hockey games, and I'm like, hey, what do you want to do one for? And it was, and it was like, and then it just kind of snowballed, and but I do get a lot of help. I have a great people helping me with that game with the committee and everything like that. It's always so, and I never even would have gotten into the New York City Marathon had somebody not like inboxed me that day and been like, hey, by the way, it was the day the marathon was going on, and
Okay.
I was going to just wait for the lot. Yeah, wait for the lot. What do I know? Like I said, I'll wait
Right.
for the lottery. I'll get in.
I'll get in.
Like, yeah. I mean, everybody wins the lottery, right? So, you know, not the brightest bulb burning in the room, but
Ah,
so they're like, you sign up today, you'll get, they may accept you as a part of their fund. So I was like, all right. I went on there, I did the pay, and then like later on that night, I got the email, and I was like, oh my god,
that
it's
is awesome.
yeah. So and I was gonna like kind of do it like wait because March, I think February is you put in for the application and March was the drawing, and I'm like, it fell right on March 4th was going to be the drawing, which is my birthday, and I was like, it's a sign, I'll get in, you know, and I think somebody said that is going to be the worst birthday ever. And I was like, oh, I'll get in. And they just said, it's going to be the worst birthday ever. And so I was like, so that kind of stuck with me. And I was like, maybe I will go the other way. Maybe I'll go that route. So, yeah. And I'm, like you said, right away, I got in the logistics of it. Like, where am I going to, like, okay, where's the start? Where's the finish? Where's the,
Yep.
and I like, boom, that night, I'm like, had the hotel booked, had the all the logistics of it. Like, what subway am I taking? Like, if I don't know where I'm going, I get
Yeah.
so like well before you're out. I'm like, okay, I got everything set.
I love it. I gotta tell you, like there are people that we've had on our show. I think this is our like 360th or 70th episode we've done, and there's a feeling when you connect with people, and I feel like super connected to you because I think we come from the same cloth. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, I'll just figure it out. Like I don't know, like I don't know everything about everything, and I'll just
Yeah.
figure it out. Um, and I feel like the way you've talked about, doing the Philly Marathon with a buddy, and you're like, oh yeah, sure, and start a nonprofit. Oh yeah, sure. What's a nonprofit? Oh, fill out this form for the New York City Marathon. Okay, sure, whatever. I live by this sort of motto: take risks and bet on yourself. And I get the feeling like that's who you are as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's something where it's like, it's for me, it's just kind of like it's got to get done. It's just got to get
Yeah.
done at this point. That's just something like it may not be pretty, but it's going to get done. You
Right.
know, it's going to get done, and that whether it's Steve Hansen hurting somebody at the charity game, but we're still getting money for the charity. So be it. But but and like again I've run this New York Marathon will be my third marathon, and it will. I still wouldn't even. I would say even if when I get out there and run it, I still will not consider myself like a runner. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like everyone else's running pics are like them with both their feet off the ground, like gliding through the sky and everything like that. And like my one buddy's like just looks at me and goes, "You run like T-Rex." like if T-Rex was a marathon runner, like
this would be it.
Like he looks at because I have no idea how you survived 26 miles with that form. It's like he goes, it's like you just beat up the bottom of your feet. You're just like, and I'm just like, I'm like, it's got to get done.
I live by another motto, which is done is done. Like it doesn't there's no, it doesn't have to be pretty at all. It just got to get done.
Exactly. And it's been like, I mean, I think it was 2 weeks before the marathon. I went to the orthopedic because my left ankle was just exploding. I mean, I could not figure out what was going on. Everything on the right side was fine. The left side was just unbearable. So I go to him and I'm thinking it's plantar fasciitis. I'm thinking whatever, a million different things going through my head.
Right.
And of course, lo and behold, I mean, he gave me a shot and he's like, the shot's going to help you get through part of the race. He goes, but it may wear off, and so
can't wait.
And I'm like, all right. And he goes, and at that point, it's just a matter how much pain you take. And I'm like, you're a doctor?
Double the dose, doc. Double the dose.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? So I had come to find out, he's like, well, you don't have this, you don't have that. He goes, what you have is something called tarsal tunnel syndrome. And I'm like, what's that? Like, what do I have now? So it's like son of, like, God, I'm like, gotta be kidding me. And he goes, well, it's not bad. He goes, because it's kind of like carpal tunnel syndrome when a muscle is like pinching on a nerve in your wrist. Yours is just happening in the ankle though. And I'm like, well, I need my ankle. Right. I kind of do. So and he goes, well,
26 miles.
Yeah, he goes, it only happens when your feet and ankles swell. He goes, if they don't swell, you're fine because it won't pinch on the nerve. And I'm like, you're not a runner, are you? Like, I know I'm not a runner, but I know the longer you run, your feet are going to swell.
100%.
And he goes, he looks at me and he goes, well, can you run half of it? And I go, well, no, I can't run half of it. I signed up for a full marathon. And he goes, yeah, but like when you hit 13 miles, you could just stop, right? I was just like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We're done here. I was like, you gave me a shot. We're done here. But I'll tell you something. It wore mile 18. It wore off.
Oh,
It wore, and it was, and I was like, oh, that's why 13 miles would have been a good idea. I was like, all right, kind of knew how far I was going to get, I guess, But yeah, those last 8 miles. I mean, the last six normally are brutal
yeah,
in
brutal.
themselves.
Hmm.
But I mean, I fell down like twice. I was
Yeah,
like, so it's as if my body hadn't been through enough. Like I
we'll
mean,
add this on.
yeah, we'll add that on too. So, and it was my left side. I thought it was always going to be something going on. I ruptured my right Achilles tendon years ago, and I thought it was always going to, if something was going to happen, it was going to be with that leg. So now it's like, I'm like, well, now I got nothing. I was like, I had nothing. I was like, I got my right side I'm worried about. We're my left side. Now I just want to be one of these birds that are flying with wings and not worried about their legs. I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, what the hell?
It's
Now that's why
perfect.
I'm probably thinking as they're flying overhead. Oh, son of a
I
bitch.
love it.
Yeah.
We're bumping up on time here. I want to make sure we get all of the links and everything else. Where can people go to find out more about Strides for Gianluca? Where can they donate? Let us know, and we'll include it in the show notes. But for people who are listening,
Yeah, sure. I mean, so it's strides for the number four, John Luca, and it's spelled the Italian way, which is GIANLUCA, strides for John Luca, and we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we have a YouTube channel, I have a website, so everything can be found there almost all the time with everything and anything we're doing, things going on, especially the Instagram. Obviously nowadays, that's the thing that most pops up the most. But all the donations for the links and are in the bio for anything with that. And from Thanksgiving to New Year's Day for our New York Roadrunners fundraiser, we are matching all donations to that too as well.
oh,
I
awesome,
personally, I personally am matching all donations to that one too as well. So if you
awesome.
donate 100, it's going to be 200.
We'll put that in because this show is going to drop on Christmas Eve, and so
I'm
people will
sure.
have a week to go to before we hit the New Year's Day. So we'll absolutely encourage people to make a donation to the organization that will be matched by you. We have some fun stuff. Not that we haven't been having fun already, but we have some fun stuff that we always end our fireside chat with. First thing is, from a music perspective, what are you listening today? We have a show called What's in Your Earbuds. So what are you listening to today?
Listen, I got the very last song I liked that I listened to, which I really like, was "Miles on It." It's a country song. One of another runner said it was, and I just kind of downloaded it and liked it. So that was the one song I liked. But a lot of country kind of like is a good beat for me when I'm out there. I do like a lot of
Okay.
the country. Yeah. And it could also go completely south too, where sometimes it's just Limp Biscuit. So I'm all over the place. I'm
That's
like,
awesome. Well, I think we have plenty of I shouldn't say plenty, but I think we have plenty of Limp Bizkit on our Everyday Athlete Podcast Network playlist. So we'll drop in your country music choice to the playlist as well now. Food is a big topic for endurance sports athletes, runners, and on our platform, you would think we were like the second coming of the Food Network, that we talk about food probably as much as we talk about running and endurance sports. So I have a whole list of, we call them rapid fire food questions, Vittorio, but honestly, I don't know why we do that, because you can take your time in answering them. Um, so the very first one, and this will be interesting. You're in South Jersey, not far from Philly. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
nay, 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 nay. Absolutely a nay.
Louder
If
for the
you put
people
that,
that say yay.
oh God Almighty, it's no. Now you got me flustered. Now I'm actually angry. I don't even want to have a second question. I'm just gonna answer no to everything now.
I'm with you, dude. As a New York City
Uh,
kid, like this idea of
oh,
putting pineapple on pizza, I'm like, look, you do you. but do not ask me to eat it because it ain't ever happening.
I can't even look at it. When I see it, I actually will hold my son up to the glass and I say, "Do you see that?" I said, "When I tell you God is watching," I was like, he sees that too. He knows they're doing the wrong thing. He knows.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
Was the family restaurant Italian?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was.
What
Yeah.
what's your favorite what's your favorite Italian dish?
Oof, that's a tough. I mean, for right. I gotta go real plain Jane, simple. One of my favorite things is just a nice, freshly fried cutlet, like
Yeah.
pan seared, not like deep
Yes.
fried, like nice
Not deep fried.
pan
No.
seared fried cutlet with a little fresh broccoli rabe, and that's like just simple. You got your protein, you got your veggie. I love it. I love it. And of
A
course,
light squeeze of lemon.
yeah. Oh yeah. And whenever somebody else is doing it, I'll take fresh homemade pasta because I don't like doing it anymore. I won't take the time. But if anybody else is doing it, I'm all in for it.
One of my favorite things I've eaten growing up in New York and going to Italian restaurants and hole in the walls, eggplant parm sandwiches, man. Like that to
Oh,
me, yeah, right? Like and when the mozz is like crusty on the top, brownish, like you just
oh, the little and the bread's got to be good.
yeah,
The
oh
bread
yeah,
is
it
it's got
has
to
to
be
be good.
it's got to be that nice like. Oh, I love that. I love that.
We may
Man,
have
it's
just
like
started a whole
I'm gonna like after this. I'm gonna like oh my wife's gonna what are we doing in the kitchen at 10 o'clock at night? I'm like I was hungry. It's like don't blame me, blame Jason.
Do you have a favorite pasta? I know you don't like making
Ooh,
them anymore, but what's your favorite pasta?
favorite pasta is bucatini.
Yes!
Yes, bucatini, man.
Yes!
I love it. It's like if you get the right sauce. I don't love how it just gets. You get it on the inside. It's almost
Yes!
like a surprise if it gets on in the right one. You bite it. Oh, it's in there too. It's in there too. You know, and I love bucatini. Bucatini is my favorite.
It's not even, and honestly, it's not even close. And nothing else is even close because, to your
And
point,
it's the
when
most
you
underrated. You will hardly
yes,
ever hear it. You will hardly
yes,
ever hear it. No, what 9 times out of 10, you'll hardly hear anybody ever like pick bucatini pasta.
no,
But I am
my guy,
absolutely 100%.
same. My guy Alex Baker sent me a box because he argued with me that cascatelli, which is the wave pasta, is
Yep.
the way to go. And so I have a box of cascatelli here. I have to give it a chance, but already in my mind, I'm like, it's not going to be as good. So I'm not even giving it a fighter's chance.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's when your mind's made up, it's made up. I mean, it's like it's hard for old dogs to learn new tricks. You know, like it's really, I like what I like. Leave me alone. You know, like leave me alone. I don't want to know about your new wave food or whatever the hell it
That's
is.
right. It's
You
literally
know?
wave, new wave.
Yeah, exactly.
Oreos. Are you an OG fan, a double stuff fan, a cakester, or an Oreo thin fan?
No, oh, OG, OG.
OG. Are you a
It's so
dunker?
funny you told me about Oreo. I literally had two before I came on.
Yes.
I had two before I came on. I was like, I gotta have the Oreos. I gotta have something.
I got a 7-Eleven. There's a 7-Eleven literally across the street from us, and they have like a little corner that has Japanese foods. And last night I went in there and I picked up a box, and it just says cheese flavor. I can't wait to test it out tonight. My guess is it's either like a cream cheese. Is my guess is going to be like a cream cheese Oreo because I also bought a strawberry flavored Oreo there. So what I'm going to do is scrape the Oreo cream, put it on top of the cream cheese cream and make my own strawberry cheesecake Oreo.
Oh, all right. I like that. It's like top shipping it with Oreos. I love it. That's nice. That's nice. Something I have fallen onto, which I'm going to try on my next long distance race or training run or some. My son still has a ton of leftover candy from Halloween, and I picked out this little bag, and it was something called Nerd Clusters. Have you ever?
Yes.
And I opened up, and I was like, these are delicious. So my wife got some, and I said, these would be incredible on mile like 18 or 20 of a marathon. Well,
I
it's
sent,
like, you know.
I sent
What's
you a
that?
welcome box. I sent you a welcome box for the clubhouse. There is a package of nerd clusters in that welcome
Oh
box
my
if you can
God,
find it.
maybe it was that. I think I took your nerd clusters and threw it in the candy of his Halloween stuff, and it was probably yours that came out of it because it
That's
was like the
awesome.
only one. Because I swear I looked at it and I was like, where the hell did this come from? And I was like, I looked at almost every candy he picked on Halloween, and I never, because I'm always pushing the Reese's. I'm like, go to the Reese's, go
Yeah,
to the Reese's, because you go to sleep, that's what I'm having. So and I guarantee you that was it, because I
that
like
is
trying.
awesome.
If it's out and about, I'm gonna eat it. So I'm like, let me put it in with his candy so I don't eat it. That didn't work out, but I mean, it didn't work out that way. But but yes, and I mean, like I have it. I love eating them on their own. Don't know what's gonna happen when I eat them at mile 18 or 20. But I'm a
So
gambler, man.
I will
Worst
tell
case
you
scenario,
this.
I gotta find my place in the woods.
I ran across the years, which is a 1 mile loop, or a little bit more than maybe it's even 2 miles. I'm not really sure how long it is, but anyway, you do it every hour on the hour. And our guy Santino Williams, who's our community manager for Run Try Bike, brought me a 5 pound bag of nerd clusters for that event. And so, like after every loop, you just get a handful, three, four, five. I'm telling you, it is run saving. You'll be so happy.
Oh, I love that. And we actually did buy. We found when we were going through, me and my wife, because I made my wife try it too. We saw a bag in ShopRite. We're like, look at the size of that one. We're like, oh my God. We felt like Indiana Jones, like found the lost, like get it, put it in the thing. And our son's in the shopping cart, like, what are you guys so happy about? I'm like, don't worry about it. It doesn't have nothing to do with you. This candy has nothing to do with you. And it
You have
was,
no
oh,
idea. You just took me so far back. I haven't lived in New York in about 23 years, 24 years. And when you said ShopRite just now, like I immediately got
oh.
transported to 1986.
I know, right? Well, what do you have out there? What's like a brand name you got out
Ralph's,
there?
Ralph's.
Ralph.
We have a Ralph's and Vaughn's. I mean, they're all owned by Albertsons and Kroger anyway, but Ralph's and
Okay,
Vaughn's are probably the two biggest ones out
Ralph's.
here.
All right.
It's wild.
I gotta remember that one. So I gotta know where to
Liquor.
get my nerd classes when I'm out
That's
there in
right.
my 5 pound bag.
Licorice, red or black?
Red.
Red vines or Twizzlers?
Twizzlers.
Do you use it as a straw with your soda?
I have, but I have not in a very long time. I have. Then I haven't in a while now. But now it kind of brings me back. Like I should try it again, especially
Peeps
with my
are
son.
peep. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to teach them.
yeah.
Peeps are peeps a real candy, or are they just door stoppers masquerading as candy?
That's a tough one. I mean, I've eaten them. I've enjoyed them, but for me, a candy has to be like something you can enjoy, and it doesn't get your hands like you got to wash it under the sink for 15 minutes to get it all off. Like I've had crazy glue come off my fingers easier than Peeps. So I'm gonna say no, not a candy, not a candy.
Candy corn. Is candy corn a real candy, or is
I
it
love
earwax
candy
covered in
corn.
sugar?
Love
Oh
candy.
no!
Love candy corn. Anything I can grab a handful of and just kind of toss in my mouth like peanuts, I'm all for. I'm all for. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Creamy or crunchy peanut butter,
Creamy.
or creamy? Now, I presume you eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or am I overstepping my bounds here?
No, I've had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I more am so where I'll have uh, just like rice cake and peanut butter on it.
Okay, rice cake and peanut butter, no jelly on the rice cake.
No jelly on the rice cake.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll have it. It's just so much sugar, but sometimes I'll have it, especially if he's eating it. Then I'm like, well, I guess I'll have a little bit.
Have
If
you
my
have
son's
you
eating it.
have you ever put mini chocolate chips on top of the peanut butter on top of your rice cake?
I have not. I have
Okay,
not.
put that on the to-do list, because I'm telling you it's a game changer, because that's one of the ways that I will eat my rice cakes too. And I love rice cakes with peanut butter, plain, sometimes banana. But if I have little mini chocolate chips laying around and you just sprinkle a few on there, it's a game changer.
I love that.
Red velvet cake. Is red velvet cake a real flavor, or is it chocolate cake dressed up to go to the prom?
I like red velvet cake. I like it. I like it. And, listen, for someone who barely made it to the prom, I'll take it. I'll take it. You know, you know. The time I asked somebody, you got somebody? Oh, you got somebody to go with too? All right, never mind. So, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Your favorite non-chocolate candy, but and I presume it's Nerd Clusters now.
Oh yeah, it's Nerd Cluster. That answered itself. Right now, it's all I can. I got to go out tomorrow. I'm getting another bag. I'm out. So
Favorite chocolate candy is?
Oh, Reese's peanut butter cups. Does that count, or does that have to be just chocolate?
Yeah, that absolutely counts. That's a chocolate
Oh
candy.
no! I'm sorry. I have to. Oh no, it's not a candy. I can't use it. It's not a candy. I was going to say Nutella. Nutella.
Oh, Nutella is so good, dude.
I know.
We have you ever been to Chicago?
No.
Okay, so in Chicago, whenever you get there, there is on Michigan Avenue a Nutella store, and I think they call it a Nutella cafe. And so everything in there is Nutella. The coffee is Nutella flavored. The little snacks have Nutella on it. Like it is. It was amazing when my wife Lori and I went into it. It was fantastic, and you could get a jar of Nutella with your name on it. And because we're both big Nutella fans, we got separate jars. And so now we're like, if somebody takes the jar Nutella out of the pantry, it's like, which one are you taking yours? They'll be taking my jar Nutella out.
It's labeled, clearly labeled. I'll take a little dollop and I'll put it at the bottom of my espresso cup before I hit it, and just give it a little stir. I like that sometimes. That's a good one, but yeah, Nutella's dangerous. I mean, I've sat down to watch Forrest Gump, and by the end of it, I'm like, oh boy, like, that's going to be an interesting long run tomorrow morning.
I love it.
It's going to be real interesting. I'm running the loop tomorrow.
What's your favorite? Really fast,
I can't be too far. I got to run the loop.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, that's a tough one, but I will go. I'm going to go with just plain old chocolate.
Okay.
But close second is pistachio.
Nice. Excellent call. I got to tell you, like most Italians, when I talk to them, pistachio comes up in the conversation one way or the other. It might be because on the cannoli, it might be with the cake, it might be with ice cream, gelato.
My dad put me onto it. Dad put me onto it. Like when we were in Italy, and they had the gelato, a little different. That he put me onto it, and I tried it, and I was like, oh. And we would go in the summers to visit our family. It just has this refreshing, especially when it's hot out, has this refreshing feel to it. You know, 100%. It's almost like lemon. It's just amazing. So
it is amazing.
Full credit goes to him. My dad put me onto that.
One of the things I love about, I'm a Puerto Rican kid growing up in New York, is that all of the different cultures that I've been able to experience because of what New York and the Northeast has. So knowing about pistachio and limoncello and sorbets and gelatos and all that stuff, like, right? Yeah. Like, you just get all of that stuff there. And it is amazing to be able to have a conversation with an Italian guy and then an Ethiopian family and whomever else you're talking to, and being able to say to you, I've eaten that. I know what you're talking about. Like we can connect because of that.
100%. And I got to tell you, that's the one thing I've already been doing for the, not the night before, but I'm staying 2 nights because I want to experience Metal Monday. So Sunday night after the race, I'm already Googling places. Like I want to, like, where I'm going to go, what I'm going to eat. You know, I'm going to stay hungry just so I can, like, kind of have a walking tour of food if I can.
Do you mind if I tell you my favorite places? I got two of them that every year I go to New York with my wife, and we absolutely go to these 2 places for sure. Tavola, which is on 37th and 9th. It is an Italian joint, and it looks like it's straight out of The Godfather. Like you walk in there, it's the narrowest restaurant you've ever seen, and the pizza there is phenomenal. Every time we go, I get pizza when we go to Tavola, 37th and 9th. And then I love bagels. So Tompkins Square Bagels, they're on the Lower East Side. They have two, and they actually have one on the Upper East Side now. But over on Avenue A and then on Second Avenue on the Lower East Side, they have bagels, and to me, they're the best bagels in Manhattan. And I don't even think it's close, in all honesty.
And that is actually something that's like, it's almost like salt in the wound for me, because you mentioned bagel, and the one thing I have, my one thing I have after every race, not 9 times out of 10, any long distance race, not like a 5K. If I'm doing a half marathon or a marathon, any one of those, I am getting, because I'm here from South Jersey, I'm getting a bagel with egg, pork roll, and cheese.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, like the fact that I'm going to be in New York and have like,
won't get that.
Yeah, I'll get the bagel, and it's almost like I just want to hide a pork roll in my pocket and slap it on there when I get there, just to have like what I've been waiting for. You know what I mean? So it's like, but that's
in New York.
I go to.
In New York, you could go to any bodega and you could get yourself a bacon, egg, and cheese, a Beck, which is quintessential in New York City. But it's not a pork roll. And I know about pork rolls because one of my best friends grew up in South Jersey. And when I lived there, what we would do every year is we would go to Giants Eagles at East Rutherford. And then we'd also go to Giants Eagles at the Vet. This was before the Link. That's how old we are. We would go to the fucking Vet. And so we would go get pork roll when we were down there, and we'd get, bacon, egg, and cheese when we were in New York. They're not one and the same, but they're both awesome.
You sat on those old cement bleacher seats.
Yes.
How comfortable were those, man? If it was a winter game, you either decide to freeze your ass off and put the jacket in on the cement by maybe halftime, third quarter, or you kept it on, and then you're still like, you couldn't buy.
Your ass was frozen.
They were smart. They brought 2 jackets, one for them, one for the thing. But if you're a rookie, you bring 1 jacket. You're trying to decide what you're doing. Which part of your body you want to maintain.
It was awful. And we would do the same with baseball. So we'd see Mets Phillies at Shea and then also at the Vet too when we were going back and forth. It was amazing. It's just a great experience to have. Here's my last question for you before I let you go. Tray of brownies has come out of the oven. It's been on the counter long enough to cool down, but it's still slightly warm, so you can cut it. Are you going corner piece? Are you going edge piece? Or are you going middle ooey gooey?
I'm gonna go corner because I feel like I still get a little bit of the ooey gooey, but I also get that little bit of crunch on the end.
Yes.
Yep. So I get everything. I kind of get a little bit of everything.
That's the right answer. For me,
if I'm cutting into it first, that's gonna be one hell of a big corner piece. So it doesn't necessarily mean this is my corner piece. This might be my corner piece. So I might be drifting into that middle already.
My guy John Hudson, who I had on the show about 3 months ago, he said his corner piece is the corner plus the first edge. So it's more like a rectangle instead of a square when he takes it out. He's like eating a French bread pizza. He's got the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen. If you're the first one there, you got carte blanche to figure out. Everyone else has got to figure out, how they're cutting theirs afterwards. You said
they got to work around you.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody said symmetrical, then that's it.
Let me ask you this then, as the final question. Let me ask you this. Lasagna. Are you a corner lasagna guy where the top little pasta sheet's a little crunchy too, or is that preferably from the middle?
Yeah, I like that corner part. Yeah,
right.
If I get that little bit of crunch, I like that. I've always liked that crunch. I've always liked
yes.
That. And something else that a lot of restaurants have been doing in the last couple of years, I love, is just taking breadcrumbs and sprinkling it on top of some of the pasta dishes, just to give that little bit of crunch. I've always liked that, like a panko finish. Sometimes someone do it on certain dishes, and that kind of added a little something in for me. So I've always liked that little bit of texture difference. I have liked that. So yeah, corner's good.
I'm so glad that it's only 6:15 here on the West Coast, so I could get some dinner before I go to bed tonight.
I'm getting it too. After this conversation, I'm having to set my second dinner.
Vittorio, thank you so much for joining us. We'll have to have you back on before you get ready to run the New York City Marathon. Talk about your year at that point, fundraising, and everything for Strides for John Luca. You're doing amazing things. Keep up the work, man.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
Awesome. For those of you that stuck around for a show that was longer than we normally go, hour and 15 minutes, but when the conversation's flowing, you want to keep it going. Thank you so much. As I say, time is the greatest gift that we can give to each other, and you've given me the gift of your time. So thank you so much. Please do not forget to subscribe, rate, review, and if you're on Spotify or YouTube, comment on the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network and these shows that we're doing for you. I'm asking for 5 stars. If you're inclined to give us anything less than 5 stars, do me a favor and email me, jason@runtrimag.com, before you do that, so I can hear from you about what you want us to improve upon so we can earn your 5 stars. Appreciate your time. See you next week. Actually, you won't see us next week. We're going to be off. We'll drop this episode, but we will not be broadcasting live on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve as we recharge our batteries to head into 2026. Have a great one.